Hey guys, you might notice my video quality is a little shaky this week, which is crazy because it looked fine when we were recording. But we're still funny, regardless of the video quality, so please enjoy.
Is this Star Wars? Like, is this what people are like spending billions of dollars on? Is
Yes, this is Star Wars, okay? And we're proud. Welcome to Heinously Uninformed.
where we recap the latest episode of the second season of The Mandalorian. I'm Caroline, and I can name 3 Star Wars movie titles, and I don't know what a Mandalorian is.
And I'm Albert, a lifelong Star Wars fan. Hello and welcome back to Heinously Uninformed. Caroline's shrugging right now.
Yeah.
You can't hear her shrug, but you can see it.
I'm shrugging a lot right now.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I got a big old smile from ear to ear, and I pulled out my Boba Fett poster. I'm giddy like a kid again.
This is shocking to me.
It's shocking?
It's shocking.
What is shocking? Okay. What do you I mean, okay. Let's hear it, Caroline. Initial impressions of season 2, episode 6, chapter 14, The Tragedy.
Is that what it was called? I didn't even catch the title.
Dude, when that title popped up, I was just like, oh no, I literally said out loud, oh no, something bad's gonna happen this episode.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I missed that.
Caroline, that's impossible. If you're watching the show, it literally fills up the whole frame for like 10 seconds.
Okay, so I was waiting for the title because I know that that's the only place you can see it is when it's on screen. And I was looking for it. I don't know if I looked away for 2 seconds to write something down, even though I don't have any early notes. I don't know. I if you want to know how I felt about the episode, same as last week. No tension. There was no tension.
No. This episode, I feel like it's like the antidote to last week's episode. And I'll tell you why once we get into nitty gritty. But if you're new to Heinously Uninformed, we are recapping The Mandalorian Season 2. And we are at episode 6 of 8. There are only 2 episodes left.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
stuff is getting serious in this show.
Getting very serious.
And I'm shocked that you're not visibly more upset about, I guess, the dramatic arc of this episode. You're more like upset about the content, I believe.
I mean, did some serious stuff happen in this episode? Yes. But I don't know. I guess I think back to our first season when we were recapping this finale of Game of Thrones. Maybe that show just ended poorly, so we both were like, this is dumb. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just feel like this show, it just isn't fucking gripping me.
Just say it,
I don't know.
Caroline. You think it sucks. Just say it.
It's not a good
Just
show.
say it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay.
So last week, you said something very provocative.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what you said? You insulted our audience.
Oh, yeah. I called people fucking nerds.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
And
Uh-huh.
I was gonna let that slide because I
Mhm.
did have a lot of issues with the episode.
Uh-huh.
But this episode, I also have some issues, just sort of
Mhm.
like in this sort of structure and storytelling aspect of it. But
Mhm.
I'm proud to be a fucking nerd. Okay, that's the first F-bomb I've dropped on on this season.
Oh my god, wait. Am I the only sweary one? Jesus.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
the swear. You got a sailor's. Is that what? A sailor's tongue? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, truck driver mouth. Hi.
You got a truck driver.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm proud to embrace the nerdom. Okay. I'm gonna sound like such a hypocrite, but the same issues I had with last week's episode are like the same reasons I kind of love this episode.
What?
Yeah. Should we get into it? Do you want to jump in?
Okay. I mean, this week, honestly, I feel like I could sum it up really quickly what happened, which is they're in space and then they land on a planet. Oh, they have to do a thing. And so he puts them on the thing. A battle happens. He gets kidnapped and then things are bad. That's what happened in this episode.
Thanks everyone for listening to Heinously Uninformed episode.
We'll catch you next week when again there's no tension.
Quiet, Caroline. Okay. I disagree that it's not as simple. I mean, sure. any plot can be distilled by the sequence of
This is true.
events that
No,
has happened.
you're right. You're right.
But there are some kernels of really good stuff that I've been yearning for from this season for a while. And
Okay.
let's get into it. The first scene. Oh, mwah. That's what I want. I want them to talk. I don't mind when there's no action. I'm a big fan of just two people sitting in the car and just bonding. And that's what they're doing. They're on a road trip.
Yeah.
And they're practicing the ball stuff.
That's true. Yeah. No, I mean, that was cute. Felt
Hey,
a little
more?
a little fillery, but
No. Oh, I'm getting angry, Caroline. It's more than cute and fillery. What it is, because we've seen Baby Yoda be cute. We've seen Mando sort of like try to help him and support him throughout, but something different happened this scene. Mando's really, you really see the conflict in him where he's like, all right. He's like trying to convince himself. All right, we got to take you to this Jedi. All right. And you can tell in his body language and the intonation of his voice that he does not want to say goodbye to Grogu. Remember his name?
Gazebo. I know he kept like cooing his name. He's like Gazebo. Gazebo. Oh.
His name is
Gazebo.
Grogu, Caroline.
It's Gazebo. I'm gonna call him Go-Gurt in a second, okay?
But basically, I mean, that was my issue with like the early episodes. We don't really know how Mando feels. I mean, we know he likes the kid because he's doing all this stuff, but this is like, I think we're getting close to them getting separated. And then after that scene, such a lovely, tender scene, it cuts to the title card, The Tragedy.
Is that when the title card comes up?
Right after that scene, yeah.
Okay. Is that right before the lead-in with like the theme? The intro?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, so there's the recap.
There's the recap, there's a little scene, and then I guess there's a title card, and then I guess there's
Yeah, so the little scene was the
music.
cute scene. You're like, that felt fillery.
I zoned out.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I took notes.
What are you noting?
I have
nothing happened in this episode.
Baby
All right,
Baby
Caroline?
Gazebo.
Happened.
No, my notes are very thin. Baby Gazebo plays with ball. Knight Vader is cooing his name. Makes him summon ball again. Tython is planet ? That's what I guess I was just I don't know.
Okay. The thing that it reminded me of, you know those classic Western films like True Grit and The Searchers, like those, what is it, John Wayne stuff?
Yeah.
I got a lot of like John Wayne vibes from that scene because he's like supposed to be this like tough, like bounty hunter, but he has a heart of gold, right?
Yeah.
You don't give a shit about the show.
I mean, it's not that I don't give a shit. I just feel like, is this Star Wars? Like, is this what people are like spending billions of dollars on?
This is Star Wars, okay? And we're proud.
Okay.
Caroline, you've unleashed the nerd in me.
I think it just like kind of confirms though, because like obviously I didn't really watch or like tune into Star Wars stuff before.
That seems like it would be important to enjoy a show.
Right. But I guess I kind of feel like if this is the show, if this is Star Wars, then I'm like, cool. Like I didn't spend my time on something that I don't like. Like
that's totally fair. And honestly, I've had like mixed feelings about Mandalorian, partially because it sometimes is just spectacle for spectacle's sake, which is kind of not like what to answer your question, like, is this Star Wars? Sometimes Star Wars is this, which is just spectacle and just some enjoyable bits. But what made Star Wars really special were those first films, which really centered around characters and relationships and a dramatic arc and just storytelling on a really skillful level, right?
Yeah.
This episode, I feel like attempts some of that stuff, and I think it dropped the ball on a few things, but you missed the title card, The Tragedy. But
the tragedy, oops.
My heart sank because I'm like, oh no, this is the episode. This is the episode where someone's gonna die.
Something bad is gonna happen. Finally, maybe there will be an ounce of
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This show needs consequences. When you like when every episode nothing happens and things go on, I feel like this episode really paid off with some consequence. So what happens after when they arrive on this what did you call the planet?
Is it Tython?
It's Tython, yeah.
Okay.
I thought I heard Python. I thought you said Python.
I definitely I wanted to, but I was like, don't force it.
Okay.
You know what it's called. Even though I feel like I don't this episode for me, I was like, I don't know what's funny about this. I don't know how I'm gonna I don't know. Some of my notes, we'll see.
You know what's funny about this? It's the fact that I'm so like on board with this episode and you're not.
I'm just
and
like,
this is like the start. I think this is the furthest, like the gap, right? This is the biggest the gap has been between us.
yeah.
Is this the breaking point for us?
I don't know, because I feel like I don't want to call this, because I feel like I know a good bit about Star Wars now. I'm an expert. I'm not an expert. But I want to call this now heinously unenthused, because I'm just so like, oh.
I like that, Caroline.
You know?
I like that. You're heinously unenthused.
Heinously unenthused, man.
Wow.
Fuck.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, we arrive on this planet because the baby has to sit on a magic rock and he's and Mando, see, you know, Mando reminds me of like that boomer dad who just shows up to like some cool hip youth, like young places. Like, is this a Jedi thing? Is this how we Jedi?
Is this the Jedi that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's actually really funny because the appearance of the planet I thought was really cool. Kind of reminded me of Southern California. And I just thought it was weird because I thought it looked like Griffith Park. And I was like, this is what it looks like for someone to be wearing a spacesuit in Griffith Park. Like the way a dad would.
Oh my god. Also, the cringe on the Facebook. I shouldn't say this because I'm actively promoting this on the Facebook. But like people are, I do see people like legit dads wearing the armor around their Christmas tree.
Stop! Oh, if it's at home, do that. Especially during
sometimes
a pandemic.
It's at home. Sometimes it's outside with their.
But we're in a pandemic. Be home, y'all. Stay home.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Here.
yeah.
And so
Anyway.
Baby Yoda's placed on this magic rock because apparently it's gonna determine, or it's gonna speak to Baby Yoda's Grogu's true desire. And if he truly desires to regain energy, it's gonna reach out to the Force and contact a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
And it did. It like this blue thing happened. The classic blue beam into the sky. You see it in all the popular blockbuster films.
Right.
But this is the second moment my heart dropped. And you probably wouldn't give a crap about this because you're not familiar with what flies in from the sky.
No.
What was that?
The Hood Man, I wrote. I don't know.
The Hood Man.
The Hood Man. Because I do remember from the end of the very first episode, I believe.
Bingo.
There was a guy where I was like, I don't know, kind of looks like a character from like Scorpion King or The Mummy. Right. I stand by that, honestly.
Okay.
And you said probs Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, because I know nothing, I think Boba Fett is the character. I think I'm thinking of the character from Tatooine that has like a slightly like trunk nose that hangs down. He's like slightly blue. For some reason, I thought that was Boba Fett. I don't know who this character is, by the way. You're just gonna get me saying, hey, he's got a trunk nose and he was with Luke Skywalker at some point.
I mean, you're right. He was in the first episode. He was the Scorpion King from the first episode, right? Mm-hmm. So you do remember him from this show, which is good. But the ship that he arrives in is one of those iconic ships from the Star Wars universe. You know, you're familiar with the Millennium Falcon, right?
No.
Han Solo's ship, the famous Millennium Falcon. They built a life-size replica at Star Wars in both Anaheim and Florida at Disneyland. You're not familiar with it? Okay, well, That ship is iconic.
Okay.
And sort of a few tiers below that is the Slave One, which is the ship you see arriving on this planet. And you see that ship, and me, who knows who flies that ship.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the guy over my shoulder, Boba Fett.
There
If
he
you're watching
is.
the video, I got the poster.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh no, is this the tragedy? Is Boba Fett gonna kill Grogu? Because Boba Fett does not like the Jedi.
Right. And I guess Gazebo is technically a Jedi.
He's a Jedi. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh no, something Mando versus Boba Fett because Boba Fett hates Jedi. But that actually leads to one of the issues I have with this episode, which is we'll get to it in a second. But
okay.
What did you think of Boba Fett's reveal? I mean, you saw his face in full glory, in full Griffith Park glory.
He approaches like wearing his hood, and I was like, the hood man. And then the music swells, and he takes off his hood, and I'm like, doesn't help me. No, anticlimactic again.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was like, goosebumps.
Oh,
similar to, you know how like Ahsoka Tano was revealed in last week's episode?
Yes.
And it's like played for this like really climactic build up, and like the music swells, and you're like, oh my god, that's Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Same thing here. It's, oh my god, it's Boba Fett.
Not.
But I think your reaction was the same as last week's, which was.
I was like, yeah, he's bald all the way. as I figured. All the way bald. Okay.
Yeah. But he's here tracking down his armor, and he confirms that he is indeed Boba Fett. You know, I had this like weird theory that he might just be a clone or something.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, but was Boba Fett, I thought, maybe you said this, was he killed? I thought he was killed or assumed dead.
Yeah, he was killed.
Okay, so
or
then
he was assumed dead.
Okay. And that happened...
In the movies.
Oh, in the movies. I was going to say, last season, like, when did this happen? Okay.
In the movies.
Okay.
Which, speaking of, he's joined by another character that we thought was dead. In season 1, we have... so Tamura Morrison plays Boba Fett, who I'm so glad we can see his face, because he's a great actor. Is
it the same guy that played Boba Fett in the movies?
In the movie, I think it was a different actor in a suit, because you never saw his face.
Okay.
And so I think what they did is they added his voice like 20 years later when they cast him in the prequels.
Oh.
Yeah. So technically he wasn't in the original. I think he was like 10 or 16. Like he was young when those, so it couldn't have been him.
No. Okay.
But he's a great actor, and it's been really cool to see him without the mask. And then we're joined by a character that's new to you, but the fans of the show know is Fennec, who's played by Ming-Na Wen. And last time we saw her was in season 1, episode 5, where she got shot in the stomach and was left for dead.
Fuck. Was she a good guy? Because he seemed very suspicious of her and technically of Boba Fett.
True.
At the beginning of this, so did we want her to die in the first season?
All we know from her in season 1 is that she was an assassin, and she had a bounty on her head.
Okay.
And so Mando and this other character teamed up to acquire the bounty on her. But she was left for dead in the desert, and I pulled up the episode because I didn't really remember that well, so I scrubbed through it. And the last shot of that episode was her dead on the ground, and then you see feet walking towards her body, and it cuts to black. And that's all we knew of that. So there was something mysterious related to her character, but no one really knew who that was.
It's safe for us to assume that it's Boba Fett's.
Boba Fett. I mean,
feet.
It's 100% safe to assume, because she's like, yeah, Boba Fett fixed me, and she like lifts up her shirt, and she's got all these like mechanical parts in her stomach.
Okay. Is that who she said fixed her? Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. They did a lot of talking, and I was like, who's going to shoot first? And then none of them did.
That's true. Just like another Western, it's a standoff.
Yeah.
But instead of her, she's not pointing her gun at Mando. No. She's pointing her gun at Grogu. Mm-hmm. Were you at all concerned about Grogu at this point?
Who's she pointing her gun at? Gazebo.
Grogu, Caroline. Grogu.
I knew that she wasn't going to shoot him. I knew that something was going to happen, so that, because I know the show, I was like, nothing bad is going to happen to this fucking yogurt baby.
Yeah.
So,
Jesus
sorry.
Christ, Caroline. I hear you, but I disagree with you firmly.
Okay.
Because, she's a cutthroat assassin. Boba Fett, considered the world's or galaxy's most fierce, dangerous Boba Fett in the Star Wars movies. So I'm like, oh, they could legit kill him. Here's where I start to have issue with it. Is that Boba Fett's just like, give me my armor back, and I'll make sure the baby's safe or Grogu's safe. And I'm like, but that seems too easy.
You hate Jedis, plural. I don't know.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he hates Jedi.
Yeah.
So I thought it was weird that he was just like, at first it was just like, just give me the armor and I won't kill you guys. And I'm like, that's weird because Boba Fett gets what he wants by like any means necessary. Maybe evil.
But like, word travels fast in the universe. So maybe like he's like heard about or I guess maybe he saw Mando and Baby Gazebo in the first episode because he watched them.
That's true.
So maybe he saw and he was like, you know what? They're friends. They're just doing good things in the universe. I just want the armor. You guys can fuck off after that. So maybe
I like this accent you've given Boba Fett.
Thanks. Yeah. Like I think he realized that they're like not a threat to him. So he was like, I just want the armor and then you guys can fuck off. Like that's it.
That's fair.
If it wasn't for those rotten stormtroopers, then, he could have gotten what he wanted. Instead, now he has a fucking promise to keep. So,
but she even says like he's worth like 100 of those armors. I'm like, then why don't you just take the baby?
Yeah, steal the baby.
Boba Fett's a bounty hunter. I don't know. I was like, okay, it's clearly there. I can tell from the creators of the show are trying to create this team up without really putting in the effort of like making that justify. And it's like, fine, I'll buy it. Let's just get to the cool stuff, which, Caroline, some cool stuff freaking happened.
Dude, you...
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I was just like, I bet there's going to be a battle. And you know what this whole episode was?
Of course there's going to be a battle.
A battle. But it was just like, I'm going to shoot my gun at you. And you're going to shoot your gun at me. And then they like fight in the boulders. And then people die. And then obviously there's like 3 people versus like a gajillion stormtroopers. And somehow, like, I guess because they're wearing Beskar
at first it's only 2 people because Mando's trying to get the baby.
That's true.
Only 2 people at first.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 really cool people.
So strong, so capable. I guess.
I don't hear the earnestness in your voice, but I should mention at this point. Did I tell you who directed this episode?
No.
It's directed by Robert Rodriguez. Are you familiar with this director?
No.
He's sort of like one of those beloved directors known for directing like action films like El Mariachi, Desperado, but he's also worked with Quentin Tarantino with the Grindhouse films.
Okay.
He's an action guy. He's a big action guy. He also did the Spy Kids movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Robert Rodriguez, really awesome independent filmmaker. The story of Robert Rodriguez is cool. What's that? Okay.
I said heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter, yeah. He's like one of those he's a kid at heart. He loves making these action films. So I think you can really see his sort of influence in this action sequence. Did you not? You didn't think it was cool?
I guess I was just like waiting. I mean, not that I saw the title card, The Tragedy. I was like waiting. I was like, something bad is eventually going to happen. And this is all just like, I guess the build up to it. But because I don't care about Boba Fett, I don't care about Fennec, I hardly care about Night Vader. There's like all these things where I'm just like, I guess like if something, I guess I figured, I was like, Baby Yoda has the force field. Nothing can breach it until something bad happens. I knew that that force field, it either wasn't going to consistently exist to protect him, or that there was going to be something to breach it. And I was like, it's just a matter of time. All of this stuff that's happening on the side with the stormtroopers doesn't fucking matter, because the stormtroopers, I was like, the stormtroopers aren't going to be the one to get to him. So this is just, to me, fluff.
Well,
until something bad happens to baby gazebos.
I completely agree with you. It is fluff, but fans would describe it as fan service because
Yes.
what people don't. The weird thing is Boba Fett's like this beloved character, but you never really see him do anything cool in the Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
You never see him really shoot his gun. You never really see him do some action. He's just kind of like a cool, mysterious figure.
Okay.
But they've created this like mystique behind him, and people love him because of like the comic books, the cartoon shows, all this like interrelated media, but nothing founded in the movies.
Okay.
So it felt like this episode or this specific action sequence was really like, you guys love Boba Fett? All right, let's show you what Boba Fett can really do. And so I think it was definitely just like, I know you didn't really see him do too much action in the movies, but here we're going to prove to you why he's a badass. And they did it. And if you care about Boba Fett, it's cool. If you don't, then it's just kind of a waste of time.
Wow,
It's literally the TV version of someone playing with action figures.
That's how it felt. Like I was like, like, even Fennec, I was like, is she gonna get shot anywhere that's gonna hurt her? No. Like,
I thought she was gonna die, to be honest, but she was also doing some cool stuff.
See, that's
she was,
the thing.
Jumping off cliffs, pew pew pew.
Yeah, no, she did this like dumb jump and then like pew pew and then landed and rolled, and I was like,
I literally wrote that down. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
I literally saw that and I rolled my eyes.
And then, well, I mean, what'd you think about Boba Fett kicking ass with his staff, like this weirdly shaped staff?
Dude, the fucking the intro shot of it where it's like he's like standing and it's
close-up?
and it's like
That's so Robert Rodriguez, by the way.
Really? Okay, maybe I don't like him as a director. I don't know. That shot,
he's very much like cool. Like, let's make this as cool as possible.
and I was like, it looked like some kind of weird like IKEA
Oh my!
curtain rod.
Boba Fett wields the Grunkat.
Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. I just made up an IKEA
I was
name.
gonna say that sounds like something from IKEA. Okay, perfect, great. It literally looked like a weird curtain rod, and I guess like it didn't glow, it didn't glimmer, it didn't even look particularly sharp. I couldn't tell if it was like the weapon that was special or the way that he was wielding it. I was like,
That's
maybe the power is in the hands of the who holds it. I don't know.
That's why it worked. This little bit worked for me is because one, Tamara Morrison is really selling it. He's just got like a gruff, grizzled physicality to him. If you've seen his like previous films, he's a very physical, like imposing figure in his other like movies where he's played like the Mori warrior tribe and stuff. Anyways, you see this piece of wood and you're like, in the hands of anyone, it's not gonna. It looks like wood, in my opinion.
I was gonna say, is it wood? Okay,
I don't know. I agree with you. It looks like a piece of wood, and I'm like, how's this gonna fight off a battalion of stormtroopers?
Yeah.
But then you see that shot, and it goes to Boba Fett's eyes. He's like, because it's me, Boba Fett, and he just like kicks ass with a piece of wood. I'm like, wow, all right, he can do anything.
I guess I don't know. It just like I felt like. Yeah, it just felt like very fan servicey, and because I'm not a fan, like I was just like, okay, like when is something bad gonna happen? Because I knew it wasn't gonna happen while he was holding the thing.
Yeah, it's so funny that you know something's bad gonna happen, even though you didn't see the title card, the tragedy. Because I also had that planted in my head, just like, okay, when is Baby Yoda gonna get killed, or when is Fennec gonna die? I'm like, something bad's gonna happen. But the moment where I thought Fennec was gonna die, she pushed a boulder. Like, these stormtroopers are so dumb that they don't move out of the way.
I know. I was literally, as he was like shooting the boulder as it approached, I was like, why don't you just literally move 2 feet to the fucking side,
like,
you idiot?
That was stupid. Why don't you move?
But then I also was kind of like, if I was that stormtrooper, would I try to shoot to explode it too?
Would you?
Probably. I'd probably be like, this is powerful. This kills people. It could kill Rock. And then I would die too. The end.
Well, the weird thing is they were shooting at that rock for 10 minutes. And then they think it's going to explode when it comes around.
I guess that's true. I'm not like that stormtrooper at all. I'd give up way earlier than that.
Come on, give yourself some credit, Caroline. You're not as stupid as stormtrooper.
Fucking W.
Let's call them stupid troopers.
Stupid troopers.
Stoopers.
Stoopers. They're stoopers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this action sequence is broken up into two pieces. The first piece is where Boba Fett and Fennec sort of defend off the first ship, and then the arrival of a second ship, which prompts Mando, who's finally waking up from getting blasted by this force field, is like, all right, stay put, Grogu. I'm going to go help these guys that want my armor.
Yeah.
Or want their armor back.
It's funny because that second ship arrived, and I was like, who's that? Even though...
It's a safe ship, Carolyn. It parks next to an identical version.
I know. I don't know.
Who could this be?
Who is that?
It's like the equivalent is like a taxi pulling up in your house. You're like, huh, a taxi. And then another car comes and you're like, huh, what's that?
I don't know what that is either. Yeah. Well, it's not the only time in this episode that I mistake a ship, which I later in the episode.
Fair.
Yeah. We'll see it happen again. So
I was bummed that they had that little intersection or that interstitial where Mando's like telling Grogu, I'm gonna go help. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Because that kind of deflates the dramatic tension of Fennec sort of being gunned down by all these stormtroopers. You're like, oh no, it's her last stand. She's about to die. But because we just saw that scene where Mando's like, I'll be right back. You know he's gonna have this heroic arrival at the last minute, which he does.
Yeah.
Which sucks the drama out of it because we knew he was coming. But
yeah.
Again, it was pretty cool, right?
I mean...
I thought it was cool. He's just standing on a rock, he's shooting his blaster, and he's got his wrist bomb going all over the place.
This was the wrist bomb part. I was like, I wrote down something, but I don't... Oh, battle ensues, a third ship appears with more stormtroopers.
A second ship. There was never a third ship.
Oh,
was there a third ship?
I guess a third ship because... There was the first ship that had Boba Fett and Fennec. And then the stormtroopers. And then another
that's
one.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, Boba Fett's ship, do you know what the name of Boba Fett's ship? Did I say it already? It's a weird name. I don't know why it's called this.
You did say it. Is it the Slave One?
Yeah, it's a Slave One. I don't know why it's called that.
I don't like that.
I'm sure there's like a rich, deep history to why it's called that, but who knows?
Probably something from the 70s when that was... Fine. Okay.
So Mando saves the day, and then it looks like Mando and Fennec are about to die. But then, ooh, mamma mia. Ooh, mwah, mwah, mamma mia. Boba Fett's back, baby. In his armor. Woo! I'm dancing. I'm spinning in my chair. Holy moly, he's got armor.
He does. It fits him so poorly. And I feel like you mentioned... in the first episode, you're like, Boba Fett looks weird in his armor. And then as soon as I saw him in the armor, I was like, yeah, that looks fucking weird. You weren't lying.
Hey, it's been about like maybe 20, 30 years since he last wore it. Maybe he's got that, Tatooine 50-pound, when you go to Tatooine, you gain a little bit of weight when you eat crate dragons and stuff for breakfast, lunch, dinner. But you're right. He's got a bit of a dad bod, but I'm here. Mm-hmm. I stand behind Boba Fett dad bod because it doesn't matter what physical shape he's in because he's still Boba Fett. And with the armor, he's got like missiles out of every single part. He's got missiles in his kneecap. He's got missiles on his back. He's got missiles on his arms. He's got like blasters everywhere. Mm-hmm. And this is the second point. It's pure fan service. It's 100% fan service. But if you're a fan... Ooh,
you love the service.
I'm gonna tip 40% for this fan service.
Whoa!
I highly appreciate it. What were your thoughts on Boba Fett finally adorning his armor?
I literally was like, Albert's gonna freak out.
You're right, Caroline. I'm gonna freak out.
I knew, like, probably the majority of this episode. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, God. So, okay. And then in my head, I was like, I bet Albert loves it. Albert must love this. When I sent
you a text message right after I watched it. And I texted you, ooh, boy. And you responded, I have a lot to say.
I do. And I have been saying a lot. To me, this is a great, great fan episode. If you love fan shit, if you don't give a fuck, you're just like, when is the bad thing gonna happen? Because there's a lot going on to make it seem like everything's gonna be fine. Which then I guess brings us to
Mm-hmm.
somehow. Hold on.
So the stormtroopers quake in fear.
They
They
start
run away.
leaving. And are they
Yeah.
leaving because Boba Fett is killing all of them, or are they leaving because they feel in the ethers?
No, they're leaving because they're afraid of Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
They're leaving
Got
because
it.
Boba Fett is that
They're
bad.
like, oh my god, this guy, he gonna kill us all, so we need to leave. Okay.
And they think they can just run away, but Boba Fett has other ideas.
Right. So
He puts on his targeting system.
Right, and then they blows up the ship. Well, he blows up one, and then does that make the other one explode?
And the other one crashes into it.
Okay. And then I guess Night Vader,
Give
Night Vader's like,
applause.
great job, dude. And he was like, I was aiming for the other one, and whatever.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he literally
I
said,
missed that. I was like crying at this point.
no, yeah, he said, I aimed for the other one.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is kind of funny.
That's a really funny bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was just clapping and I was standing.
Go back and rewatch
Sure.
it. It's like a great moment.
But that moment is completely upended by some random blast from the sky that lands directly on the newly repaired Razor Crest, and it's destroyed. It's completely destroyed.
This is the other ship that I did not like.
It's Mando's ship.
Yeah,
that's the ship you've seen all season long.
It exploded, and I was like, "Oh damn, Boba Fett's ship just got blowed up." And then it wasn't. Then I was like, oh wait, actually I think that might be the Razor Crest. That might be.
Yeah, that's Mando's ship.
Yeah.
But it's destroyed. It's like legit destroyed.
It's like literally ash.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's no amount of repairs you can do on this one. This bad boy's done. Finally,
and,
some real consequences. This is what I'm digging.
Finally,
like,
consequence.
finally.
But I also was like, this isn't the bad thing that I was waiting for. I knew because
there's still bad things to
especially right. So I mean, throughout the battle, which we did not mention, Night Vader had gone up and twice tried to break through the blue force field and got shot back. And then for some reason, after the second time, almost immediately, Baby Yoda
that's so funny.
Puts it down.
I literally thought to my head, oh, Caroline's gonna have something to say about this.
I was like, oh, convenient.
I knew I was like in my head, Caroline saying, how convenient.
Oh, convenient. As soon as Night Vader walks away, convenient. Fucking Baby Gazebo just puts it down, puts it away, lets it.
Well, I have a question for you. Why do you think the force field went down? Do you think his FaceTime message went? Do you think it arrived at somewhere? Do you think someone got the message?
So he either got tired or I personally think that he got tired.
Okay.
Even though we have this big old ship that comes in and kidnaps him, I think he was putting it out, and then I don't know if he was waiting to get like a message back or how it works, if it's a one-way signal or a two-way signal. But I think he got tired, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen. But perhaps you think that.
Oh, I'll get to my theory at the end of the episode because I have a very elaborate theory.
Yeah.
But it's not like a theory founded in like extracurricular lore. It's literally the pieces that have been laid out in this season of the show so far. I think it's very clear where this is heading. But
got it.
The Razor Crest is destroyed, and now we have an onslaught of real consequences.
Yes.
Moff Gideon, played by Breaking Bad's Giancarlo Esposito, is just like, send the Dark Troopers, which this I hate. I hate the Dark Troopers. I think it's stupid. I don't like robots.
That was the thing. I was like, robots? Like,
it felt very Avengers Age of Ultron. I just don't like this like trend of like, here's a characterless, menacing army of robots.
Right. Because I guess like I feel like even stormtroopers, even like throwing it back, like C-3PO, like their characters, they have identities, they have a personality. I feel like even clones, like I guess it kind of just felt like a clone, but like an all robotic clone.
Yeah, and they can't talk.
Right, they can't talk. They only follow orders. It just felt like really like convenient. Like, if
Yeah.
this is something that exists in the universe, why is it not? Unless it's like a weird thing, like humanity wise, where they're like, oh, like robots, like we don't do that because it's bad to have something do your bidding. That's like
Yeah.
that. It's like
I
a war
yeah.
crime or something, right?
Bingo. I think that's what it is. I think it's a
yeah.
Disneyfication of it, because what happened
Yeah.
in season 1 is that these 2 clone troopers kidnapped Baby Yoda,
Mhm.
Grogu, and there's like, it's played for laughs. It's a little lighthearted,
Okay.
but you can tell that there are humans underneath the stormtroopers.
Okay.
And so I think people were like, I think creatively, like, we can't have someone kidnapping a baby that's a human. We got to have like something that's like very clearly black
Dark,
and white
evil.
like lacks humanity, so you can really like not feel any sort of conflict. Like, we don't want our kidnappers to be like, oh, it's a baby. We want them to be like just unfeeling robots. Which
But
is,
I feel like stormtroopers already exist in that space. Like
I agree.
stormtroopers just follow orders.
I agree.
Even though, like, even if they're clones, even if they're not, I feel like they are a personified whatever. So I feel like,
I agree.
yeah, the existence of these, what do you call them? What are they called?
Dark Troopers.
Troopers? Dumb.
Their origin is from like a 1997 PC game, by the way. I've never seen them before.
Okay, good.
Yep. All right, we got to keep moving because
Anyway, yes.
we're running out of time.
We
But
are.
essentially, these Dark Troopers, they are like beefed up versions of Mando. Like, they can jetpack, they can fly, they're armored.
They have
but we
red
didn't see them.
eyes.
They sure do.
I don't know why.
But they kidnap a vulnerable Grogu, and there's nothing to be done. I mean, that's not true, because Fennec is like, go to your ship, Boba, and Boba gets into the slave one and starts chasing him down, and he sees what we've all known, which is that. Why are you smiling? What are you smirking about?
Because I mean, this is like maybe explanation for next episode because we're running low on time. They say something like, it's the Empire, but that's crazy because this planet is under the jurisdiction of the New Republic. And then I was like, is the Old Republic, what's the old? If there's a new, there must be an old. And if there's an old, did the Empire interrupt the Old Republic? And then, is the Empire bad? Or was the Old Republic not great? And then, I don't know. I just don't know the timeline of lore.
Yeah. No. I can explain it to you very briefly. You know
Okay.
how we had a democracy here in America?
Yes.
And then Trump was elected and it became this like tyrannical wildfire?
Yes.
That's what the Empire is. It was the Old Republic. Then someone took power, the
Okay.
Sith,
Mhm.
and it became the Empire. So a lot of people's rights and privileges were slowly chipped away until you end up with a totalitarian Nazi regime, essentially.
Great. Okay.
So that's to answer your question.
Okay. So then the New Republic is Antifa.
It sure is.
Cool.
That's a bright idea, Carol.
Yeah, great.
Anyways, the slave one, Boba Fett's in position to take down the Dark Troopers, but
Yeah.
Mando's like, please don't do it, and he yields. But it was also weird because Boba Fett's just like, oh, the Empire is alive. That's surprising, but he's been on Tatooine this whole time. Where like, you've seen remnants of the Empire everywhere.
Right,
I don't get why that was like played as a bit of like surprise.
I
But
don't know.
Baby Yoda, Grogu, is essentially taken away, and Mando is confronted with the ashes of his ship,
Mhm.
where he finds not only his staff, his Beskar steel staff, but he finds the ball, which has been an icon of their relationship, their character, their growth. Nothing. Did your Grinch heart not grow 3 times in size?
Dude, he's standing in the ash, and I was like, I bet what's gonna happen? Is he gonna find the ball? And then he reaches in and he pulls out the ball, and I was like,
I hate you. I hate you, Caroline. I hate you. I hate you so much. You know what's really funny, Caroline?
What?
You know how detached and like unfeeling you are about this episode?
Yeah.
I was like sort of checking the Twitter hashtag. I was checking the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
People are depressed as hell.
What?
People are so overwhelmed with sadness. They are so upset. Not in a like critical way, in
No.
a very like deeply personally impacted way.
I mean, I guess for me, like the trend of the show has been there's no consequences in terms of like nothing bad is gonna happen to Gazebo. They're gonna kill Moff Gideon. The ship's gonna explode, and then he's gonna be delivered to some Jedi. Like guys. If you're depressed and sad and scared, don't be. Let me tell you that everything is gonna be fucking fine. Okay, there's no.
I don't think so. I have a theory, but we'll get to that. But essentially,
okay.
This is the part that like really bugged me. It's like Boba Fett's like, we're indebted to you. You gave me back my armor, and now I have to hold up my end of the deal. But I'm like, that wasn't the freaking whatever.
Was that the deal? I don't know. Whatever.
We'll get through it. It doesn't make any sense. At all.
Yeah.
But cool. I kind of like the team up.
Sure.
The circumstances that led to it don't make sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
Boba Fett's a bounty hunter. He just wanted his armor back. He got it.
Right.
Have no idea. Fennec.
Whatever.
This assassin was left for dead by Mando. It makes no sense why they're teaming up. They should hate Mando for all intents and purposes.
Like, I feel like he's done a lot of bad shit, and they're like, you know what? You're okay, kid. And I'm like, no, he's not.
Exactly.
It's fine. Whatever.
They head back to, I forgot what the planet was, but it's where Cara Dune is. And you remember that badge we got, or she received? Cara Dune is played by Gina Carano.
Yes.
Who's, we don't like Gina. Anyways, it's revealed that thing is a badge. She's a deputy marshal or some sort.
Yeah.
So she was employed like I said.
Like you expected.
I said.
So,
and I think you'll get a chuckle out of this.
What?
The reason he's over there is because he needs to enlist the help of a prisoner.
Right.
Do you know who that prisoner was?
The actor.
Do you see his face?
The actor looked familiar. Is it? He's always in. Oh God.
Like it's Bill Burr, baby.
Oh,
Bill Burr's coming back.
Well, who's Bill? What? Who else was he? Was he someone else?
I think I broke you. He was in this. He was in one of the really cool episodes of season 1 where Mando had to help him and his ragtag group of like scoundrels and villains break out another villain out of a prison.
Oh.
And so Bill Burr played this character played Mayfield. And so Mando, who's like turning a page in his life because he's got Grogu, is having to do like evil things with this group of mercenaries who are doing evil things to break out another evil villain.
Okay.
But in that episode, Mando betrays them and turns the tables and gets the whole crew imprisoned, including Mayfield, played by Bill Burr.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty good explanation.
That was
proud of myself.
Great. Yeah. So, but Bill Burr probably doesn't want to see Night Vader.
Absolutely not.
Right.
No, he's like, in prison for what sounds like 50 years because of Night Vader.
Right. So he's gonna bust him out, and he's gonna be like, "Cool, thanks for doing that. Fuck you. Goodbye." Like,
here's the thing: they've set up all these pieces, but they haven't earned the team up. Cara Dune, like she said, I'm a part of the New Republic. I can't break the rules. Boba Fett hates Jedis, but he's somehow teaming up. Fennec was left for dead by Mando, and now he's going to enlist the help of Mayfield, who is in prison because of Mando, and they're all going to team up for this saving of Baby Yoda. I don't buy it, but I'm here to watch it because it's cool to look at.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. So how does this episode end, Caroline?
We are on the big ship, whatever it's called.
I don't know what it's called. It's fine.
The Moff Gideon
It's the big
ship,
evil ship.
The Moff Gideon. And Baby Yoda
the
is...
Moffobile.
The Moffo... Yes. Baby Yoda is, like, pretty much torturing stormtroopers. He's, like, choking them, smashing them into each other. Kind of just honestly wasting his energy because unless the I feel like the stormtroopers were just there to like watch over him and he's like, I'm gonna torture you and kill you. Moff Gideon comes in.
Wait, real quick, I have a question for you.
What's up?
I was confused that he could do his force abilities without Mando teasing a ball. Like,
yeah,
I thought there was like a big jump of abilities there that I'm like, okay, again,
I don't know.
He just has the ability to do the force now?
Right. Like
Whatever.
if it was like a fight or flight thing, or if him sitting on the rock kind of made him want to try.
Wow, you sound like me, Caroline. You're justifying the show using
I hate
imaginary lore. I love it.
I hate it.
I've turned you over. We flip sides.
I hate it. Okay. Whatever. So,
that was a trap and you fell for it. It's a trap.
I hate it.
You don't get it.
No, I mean I know it is a meme, but I also thought it was from
okay.
I thought it was from Star Trek. It's not.
Oh, yikes.
Anyway,
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Moff Gideon is taunting Baby Gazebo. I don't remember what he says, but then he's like, put him in cuffs. And then he's
like, you're sleepy. You're so sleepy.
You're really
because you used your abilities.
Right. And then
But before he put him in cuffs, he pulled out something. Are you serious, Caroline? He showed Grogu something. Some would say a sword. Some would call it a blade.
Right. It's like white and glowy. And he's like, you can't touch this.
That is the Darksaber. And I can talk about what that means for the show and what the lore is for literally 3 hours. Suffice to say, remember Bo-Katan?
Yes.
That's what she wants. She wants that.
Okay.
And the reason she wants that is because whoever holds that is technically the leader of a planet called Mandalore, which is where the Mandalorians are from.
Yes. Okay.
And so she wants to reclaim her own planet, but she needs that sword to sort of like garner everyone's support.
Okay. It's called the Darksaber.
It's a Darksaber, baby.
Okay. And is the Darksaber like a Beskar lightsaber?
It's I don't know the specifics of the origin, I'll be honest, but it is powerful. It's a powerful weapon, like a lightsaber.
Okay. So Moff Gideon is taunting him with it. Gazebo tries to touch it. I don't know why you would do that. It looks dangerous.
He wants it.
I'm a baby. I'm gonna grab poison.
Yeah.
So then he puts him in handcuffs and knocks him out. And then I think that's it. I think that's where
it ends with a baby in handcuffs.
Yeah.
What a startling image.
What a horrible thing.
Yeah. And I don't want to dampen the mood, but I'm going to dampen the mood because
Do it.
I got to acknowledge my true reaction. I'm serious. It's going to be a bit of a Debbie Downer. But when I saw Grogu in handcuffs, I'm like, I couldn't get rid of the images of like children in cages.
That was my thought too. I was like, wow.
Detention facilities.
Yep. This is like, I was like, awful, obviously. But I was also like, oh, like also America at the southern border. Cool.
So that's it. That's the end of season 2, episode 6, chapter 14, The Tragedy.
That's it, guys.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, baby Gazebo was kidnapped and he's in peril. But we know, don't worry, guys. I'm just going to say it. Just don't worry. Like, he's going to be fine.
I think they should worry. I do think they should worry. Here's what's going to happen.
There's going to be 2 whole seasons about this baby and they're going to kill it. They won't.
Are you ready?
Tell me.
Are you ready, Caroline? Here's what's going to happen.
Tell me.
I'm Babe Ruth calling my home run.
Okay.
All right? I'm pointing into the outfield.
Okay.
Here's what's going to happen. Mando, Boba Fett, Fennec, Cara Dune, and Mayfield and the prisoners in the next episode are going to attempt to break out Baby Yoda. And then Bo-Katan in the final episode, with the support of Ahsoka Tano, is going to come and help, and they're going to try to break out the Baby Yoda. Mando is going to fight one-on-one with Gideon. Gideon's going to die. But then Baby Yoda is still captured because of Thrawn, which is Ahsoka Tano, what she said in the last episode. She was like, I'm looking for Thrawn. I'm looking for Thrawn. You remember that? Last week.
Is that a person?
He's a bad guy.
Okay.
We haven't seen him in the show, but he has a lot of history.
Okay.
That's how it's going to end. I think Baby Yoda is not going to be safe by the end of the season.
You think that?
I think he's going to steal. I think he's still going to be in custody.
So you think that season 3 opener is going to be, we got to save the baby? You think that that's...
I think so. I think season 3 is going to be, we got to save the baby. So Caroline, what do you think of my theory? Do you believe it's going to be this massive team up with all these characters we've seen in the season? Moff Gideon's going to die. Baby Yoda still going to be in capture. And we're going to see Thrawn the last moment.
I do think that all of these plot points that you've laid out, it's very likely that that's going to happen. Are they going to have a cliffhanger? I mean, was there a cliffhanger at the end of the first season?
Yeah. It was Moff Gideon, who we thought was dead, emerging from his crashed TIE fighter with the Darksaber, the black weapon he's wielding in this season.
So they love a cliffhanger between seasons. They
love a cliffhanger.
There's every opportunity that has this already been renewed for a 3rd season? Are they already making it?
Of course, it's the only successill Star Wars show
is it?
piece of media in Disney's library. It's literally the lifeline of Star Wars right now. Okay. It's a dark time to be a Star Wars fan, except for The Mandalorian.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess if you're saying like, oh, they're gonna leave it as a cliffhanger with Baby Gazebo in peril, like, okay, but also, guys, don't worry. Season 3, they're gonna save him. Don't worry, okay? The baby's fine. He's a baby. He'll be fine, okay?
He's 50 years old, Caroline. Anything can happen.
It's true.
Anything can happen.
And anything good can happen, and it will be good. He'll be fine. You guys, don't worry. I'll be okay.
See, I would describe the titular tragedy as Grogu being captured. I think your tragedy is that you have to watch the show 2 more times before it ends.
It's fine. I have so many friends that love Star Wars and love the show, and I just love being like, oh, I watch it, and I hate it. Like,
when you promote when we put out these promos for our show, the equivalent of what you're doing is slapping Star Wars fans in the face.
I mean, but with love.
With love, that's
and
true. That's true.
Endearments, and
that's very true.
I'm watching it with y'all. I'm just not, loving it up the way that you guys do.
That's very true. Well, that brings us to the end of chapter 14, the tragedy. Caroline, is there anything you'd like to plug or promote?
I mean, once again, my Etsy got some cute little Christmas ornaments, got some cute masks, working on some sewn folios. I don't have one near me, but they're cute. I should have some up soon. So that's Curio by Caroline on Etsy. You can follow me on Instagram at Caroline Danger. I'm on Twitter. Caroline is rad. We have Instagram for the show, Heinously Uninformed. We have a Twitter for the show, Heinously You. Albert, what do you have to plug?
So that I bought a mask from your Etsy and I wore it for an ABC7 interview. I'm going to be on TV with Caroline's mask. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on all the socials. You can follow me at AlbiePlayer1 on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, speaking of YouTube, I have a Jumanji video coming out soon. And in preparation for that, I'm live streaming every Tuesday from 5 to 7, maybe longer if people show up. But come check us out, have some fun. Yeah. And that reminds me, if you enjoyed the show, we only have 2 episodes left.
Oh yeah.
Please share with your friends, share with your family. Give us a 5-star rating. If you enjoy hearing us sometimes double downing and hating the show, or having a heated confrontation between Caroline and I where I freaking love it and Caroline's like just peeing all over it.
Heinously unenthused. Hey, Mochi doesn't pee on everything. He's good.
I'm just saying,
no.
In the beginning of this show, Mando is talking to Grogu, similar to how I've heard you summon Mochi.
I literally had my notes.
He's like, Grogu, Grogu.
I had
Grogu.
in my notes that...
And I couldn't help but hearing Caroline saying, Mochi. Mochi.
Well, it was even when, we're trying to end the show. It was even when he was like, in his blue light, and he was like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to be back. I'll be back in 5 minutes. The way that I talk to Mochi when I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give you dinner in 5 minutes when it's 8 o'clock. 5 minutes. Not right now. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I love my cat.
You relate.
I do.
You relate.
Hardly, but I do. Yes.
Well, thanks so much for listening. We've been Heinously Uninformed in a galaxy far, far away. Stay tuned for the end of The Mandalorian. Only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Bye, guys.